Welcome to the AI Hub, a podcast for AI-driven side hustles designed for IT professionals like you.
From cutting-edge AI tools to practical, no-nonsense tips, each episode brings you closer to turning tech into income.
Tune in to discover smart and sustainable ways to boost your career and income with AI.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to AI Hub. I'm Larry, super excited for today's deep dive. We're going to be looking at Google's Gemini 2.0.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda. You've sent us some really interesting stuff on Gemini 2.0, so...
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Yeah, let's figure out what's really groundbreaking about this AI model.
Okay, so Gemini 2.0, this isn't just like, a little update. This is like a big, jump forward. Not just a simple version like 1.5 to 2.0. This is something way bigger.
Yeah, and one of the things that makes it so different is that Gemini 2.0 is multimodal.
Multimodal.
Meaning that it can process information from a bunch of different sources like text, images, video, and even audio all at the same time.
So it's not like, okay, I can read text or look at a picture. This thing can watch a video, listen to music, and understand it all.
Yeah, and how those different sources relate to each other.
That's pretty wild.
Imagine you're watching a cooking video. You could ask Gemini 2.0 to analyze the video, maybe give you a summary of the recipe, translate it into a different language, and even compose background music based on the mood of the video.
Hold on. It can compose music too, write music.
Yeah.
That's insane. But okay, I get it. That's a lot. But is it any good? Does it actually do all these things well?
Well, Google says that Gemini 2.0 is not only more capable than the previous versions, but it's also twice as fast.
Twice as fast?
Yeah, they've run it through a lot of different tests and benchmarks, and the results are really impressive.
So it can do more, and it can do it quicker.
Uh-huh.
This is starting to sound like some sci-fi movie stuff.
It does feel a bit futuristic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. We're starting to see this shift towards what's called agentic AI.
Agentic AI. Okay, now that sounds a little intimidating. What does that even mean?
Well, think about it this way. Current AI is kind of like a really good librarian. They'll point you to the right book. But agentic AI is more like a personal assistant who will actually read the book for you, summarize the key points, and then take action based on what it learned.
So instead of just giving you information, it can actually do things with that information.
Exactly. And Google's already experimenting with this through something called Project Astra.
Okay.
It's a prototype that demonstrates how Gemini 2.0 can actually use a web browser to perform real-world tasks.
What kind of tasks are we talking about here? Ordering pizza, booking a flight.
Even more complex than that. Imagine asking Gemini 2.0 to plan, let's say, a trip to Europe.
Okay.
It could find the best flights, look for accommodations based on your preferences, book them for you, suggest itineraries, maybe even make restaurant reservations, all that.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like this thing can handle just about anything you throw at it, but how does it actually perform in the real world?
Well, they've been testing Project Astra on what's called the Web Voyager benchmark.
Web Voyager benchmark.
Yeah, basically it simulates complex real-world tasks in a web browser. Things like, finding the best deal on a product across different websites or scheduling appointments based on your calendar and availability.
So it's not just theoretical. They're actually putting this through its paces, in a real-world setting.
Yeah, a simulated one at least.
Right.
And the results are really promising. Project Astra achieved state-of-the-art results on this benchmark. It actually outperformed other AI systems they tested.
Okay, so we've established that this AI is super capable, it's fast, but what does it mean for regular people like you and me? How will this actually impact our lives?
That's a great question, and that's where we start to see the impact kind of rippling out into, everyday applications. One of the most immediate and noticeable changes, I think, will be in how we search for information.
Oh, okay.
Google is already incorporating Gemini's capabilities into its search engine.
So instead of just typing in keywords, we'll be able to have a conversation with the search engine.
Exactly. Imagine being able to ask complex multi-step questions like, I need a recipe for a vegan chocolate cake, but it needs to be gluten-free, and I want to use coconut sugar instead of refined sugar.
Okay.
Gemini 2.0 can understand those nuances and give you much more accurate, more relevant search results.
That would be amazing. I mean, how many times have you gone down a Google rabbit hole?
Yeah.
Just trying to find that one specific thing.
Right. And it's not just about text-based queries either. Remember, it's multimodal. So you could even use a combination of, text and images, maybe even audio, to refine your search. Like imagine taking a picture of a dish that you like and then asking Gemini to find similar recipes.
That's mind-blowing. It feels like we're on the verge of a completely new way of interacting with information.
Yeah.
But how widespread is this technology? Is this something that's still in its early stages? Or are people actually using this right now?
Well, Google's AI Overviews feature, which is powered by Gemini, has already reached 1 billion users.
1 billion users.
Yeah.
That's a massive number.
It is. And Google claims it's quickly becoming one of their most popular search features. It seems like adoption is happening really quickly, could have a huge impact in the future.
Wow. This is a lot to take in. We've gone from multimodal capabilities to agentic AI, the future of search, all in, 5 minutes?
I know, right?
It's clear that Gemini 2.0 is a really big deal, and it's only going to get bigger.
Definitely feels like we're on the cusp of something pretty major here, right?
Yeah. So, Amanda, you mentioned some specific examples earlier.
I did.
What kind of industries are already using Gemini 2.0?
Yeah, so let's start with healthcare. Imagine doctors using Gemini 2.0 to analyze medical images like X-rays, CT scans, MRIs.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But, how would that be any different from what doctors already do?
Well, it's not about replacing doctors, it's about augmenting their abilities. Gemini can process huge amounts of data like patient records, medical literature, research findings, all that stuff, to help doctors make more informed decisions.
So it's like having a super-powered medical consultant, right there with them.
Right.
Helping them look at images and, figure out what's going on.
Exactly. And because it's so fast, it could potentially speed up, diagnosis and treatment, which could be life-saving in some situations.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds like this could really, revolutionize healthcare.
Yeah.
But what about other fields?
Well, let's shift gears and think about education. Imagine students having personalized AI tutors powered by Gemini 2.0.
AI tutors?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. But how would that actually work?
Well, think of it as a tutor that can adapt to each student's individual learning style and pace. It could create custom lessons, answer questions in real time, even identify areas where a student might be struggling.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, every student would have a truly personalized learning experience.
Exactly. And because Gemini 2.0 is multimodal, remember, it could use all sorts of learning materials like videos, interactive simulations, maybe even games, which would make learning a lot more engaging and effective.
Okay, healthcare and education, those are big ones. Are there any other industries that are, jumping on the Gemini bandwagon?
Absolutely. What about creative fields like music, art, filmmaking? For example, musicians could use Gemini 2.0 to compose music in different styles or, experiment with new sounds.
Wait, so an AI could actually help create music?
Yeah. It's not about replacing human creativity. It's about enhancing it.
Okay.
Think about an artist using Gemini to generate concepts or explore different artistic styles, or a filmmaker using it to create really realistic special effects.
Wow. That's pretty wild. The possibilities seem kind of endless.
They really are. And I think that's what's so exciting about this. It could give people access to information and tools that, maybe before were only available to specialists.
That's a great point. This could really, level the playing field in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Giving people the power to learn, create, innovate. But, we've been talking about all this amazing potential.
Right.
I think it's important to step back for a second and think about the bigger picture. What are the implications of this technology? Where do we go from here? It feels like we're standing at the edge of something huge here.
Right.
With Gemini 2.0.
Yeah.
It's not just about new features. It's fundamentally changing how we think about information, how we interact with technology.
Yeah, it's exciting. But also a little bit, even a little scary.
Yeah.
As AI gets more and more sophisticated, more integrated into our lives, it raises some pretty big questions about, what does the future look like?
Definitely. What happens to jobs when AI can do things that humans used to do?
Right.
How do we make sure that AI is being used ethically and responsibly?
These are big questions that we all need to be thinking about very carefully as we move forward with this technology. It's not just about the tech itself. It's about the choices we make, about how we use it, what kind of impact it has on the society as a whole.
I think a lot of people, when they hear AI, they like their mind immediately goes to, dystopian sci-fi.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
It all comes down to how we, as a society, decide to shape this technology. How we integrate it into our lives.
Absolutely. AI has the potential to do a lot of good in the world. It can solve those really complex problems, improve our lives in countless ways, maybe even help us to understand ourselves better.
I love that. That's why I think these conversations are so important.
Yeah.
The more we understand about AI, the better prepared we'll be to, navigate all the potential benefits and challenges.
For sure. Knowledge is power. And I think it's really important to have these open, honest discussions about AI so that we can, as a global community, shape the future of AI in a positive way that benefits everyone.
So well said. So for our listener who's been with us on this awesome journey, what is the one key takeaway you want them to remember about Gemini 2.0?
I think the biggest thing is that Gemini 2.0 is a paradigm shift.
Okay.
It's not just a minor upgrade. It's a huge leap forward that could completely change our world.
And on that note, I have one final question for our listeners as we wrap up here. As AI becomes more and more a part of everyday life, what kind of future do you want to see with AI? What role should it play in our world?
That's a great question for everyone to consider as we all kind of move into this uncharted territory together.
Absolutely. And for everyone listening, if you are as fascinated by the world of AI as we are, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest developments and insights.
Yes.
We will be back soon with another deep dive into the ever-evolving world of artificial intelligence. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
Welcome to the AI Hub, a podcast for AI-driven side hustles designed for IT professionals like you.
From cutting-edge AI tools to practical, no-nonsense tips, each episode brings you closer to turning tech into income.
Tune in to discover smart and sustainable ways to boost your career and income with AI.